Action. I'm not shooting another take, and if I have to, I'm taking my paycheck and I'm leaving. You're not going to get the footage. Sorry. Hey folks, how are you? Today, me and you will be making ourselves our own couch arm coffee cup holder. When you're sitting on the couch, usually putting your coffee cup, it's got to be on a table next to you, or it's got to be on the ground, or it's got to be in the other couch cushion precariously. That's the way I go with, is the precarious, putting it on the cushion next to me and saying, it won't be disturbed, let's just let go and let God. And that's not a good idea there, okay? That can spill. So we're going to eliminate that and ramp up the motivator for wanting to drink out of that cup. When it's right here next to you, it's convenient. You can't see my hands, but you know what I'm doing. Drinking the coffee cup. Beautiful. It's going to go well. We're going to jump into it. I'm going to be explaining this stuff as I do it. And this is the first time I'm making one of these, but it's fairly straightforward and a pretty beginner DIY woodworking project. I don't think I'm going to go through the staining process in this video. You can choose your own. But what we do need to mention is that you're going to need some polyurethane above anything else so that the liquid and condensation from that cup does not screw up the wood. Alright? Let's get started. First up, you need 3/4 inch thick wood, okay? Whichever kind you prefer. This is 4 feet long, okay? It's about 12 inches wide, more like 11 and some change. But this is what we got. This is going to be enough. I'm going to be cutting it to size. You're also going to need 1/8 inch thick wood. This is going to be what your cup rests on. This is not plywood. Plywood's probably recommended, but whatever you get, as long as it's 1/8 inch, I would say. Next on the list, you're going to need some 150 to 180 grit sandpaper for sanding that wood. You can manage that with a piece of sandpaper, but I've got a sander, so I'm going to be using the sander. It'll probably go a lot quicker. You need some clamps that are at least 8 inches. Okay, these boys will do the job. These will clamp it for when that wood glue is going to be in there. You're going to need wood glue. I went with Gorilla wood glue. You need one of these puppies. It's a jigsaw, okay? This ain't no cheap project, okay? We need at least some power tools up in this piece. You also need a drill. You need a drill with a bit that's the same size or preferably a little larger than your jigsaw blade. You're also going to need a pen or a pencil to mark the wood. So the steps I won't show will be the staining and polyurethane, but those are pretty simple. You just coat it with a stain and then coat it with some polyurethane as well. And you can look up how to do that if you're not sure. Last but not least, you're going to need some safety goggles too. You don't want to be cutting wood when it's flying all over the place, and just make sure you're protecting your eyes with something. Depending on the couch that you have, you want to measure your couch arm so where it comes to the cushion, because this is going to be cradling the arm of your couch. Mine comes down 9 inches. That's where the arm meets the cushion, is about 9 inches from the top to that. And then it's 5.5 wide. These are going to be 14 inches long, and you can do like 12. You could probably do a foot. So for this, you'll need 3 pieces that are the same length. Mine are going to be 14 inches, so you can right off the bat go and measure the 3 pieces that are 14 inches long. So I've got 14, 28, mark it. Okay. And then go to 42. Okay, so now we've got the length of each of the pieces marked. The width will be the width of your couch cushion. God, I'm trying to get in the frame. I need to get a chair. Okay. Hello, folks. Here we are. Alright, 14 inch, 14 inch, 14 inch. We're going to have them come 9 inches. Okay? And I'm going to quickly cut off the end of this. Guys, I'm going to narrate over this in one take, so if I start speeding up and slowing down and being really erratic with it's because some of these clips I edited and made them go too fast, and I'm trying to do that. So we're cutting our pieces to length here. This is a Ryobi jigsaw. I think it was probably 69 bucks, somewhere around there. It's got an LED light and it does the job. It's corded, so those are always cheaper. And we're cutting our pieces to length. Just wear some eyewear and probably a dust mask if you can. Okay, so cutting the final piece off. After this, I'm going to cut the hole where the mug will rest. Okay, you want to sand it down. You can use 160 grit, somewhere around there. Realistically, you should probably start at 80 and then move up to 180. And here we are measuring the hole for where our coffee mug will go. I wanted it to be large so it can accommodate any size mug. Clamp it up, and you will need a drill as well. You're going to drill a hole and use a drill bit that's at least the size of your jigsaw tooth. I was precarious when I did this. It took me a while because I hadn't used the jigsaw in a while and I was twisting and turning, etc. It's a safe bet to sand this when you're done cutting your hole. The whole thing. So sand the whole thing when you're done cutting your hole. Alright, so you want to measure this hole from top to bottom, left to right, and then you want to cut your 1/8 piece to size and make sure that these two legs that cradle your couch arm will fit there. So I sanded that down. Time to glue. Now, if you want to, you can give a whiff of the glue. I wouldn't recommend it, but I did. I just wanted to see what it smelled like. Now, here we go with the glue. Line it up. You want to clamp it, and you want to wipe the excess glue. It should be squirting out. And then you want to wipe it with preferably a dry towel. A wet one will spread that stuff around. Wait half an hour. Come back, unclamp, and then follow suit with the next leg, if you want to call it that. We had some trouble with this leg, and it goes. We had it up to here at this point. There we go. You want to glue that, or clamp that for a half hour. An hour if you can, but half hour will do. Wipe it down. Clamp this thing down as well while you're waiting. And that'll be a 2 birds with 1 stone kind of situation here. After some hard work, we finally have our finished product. Sofa armrest mug holder for beginners. Woodworking DIY projects. Now this hole is the size of my hand, okay? So I just wanted to make sure I could put a gallon jug of milk on it, and because I usually like to do that, I'll read and drink out of a gallon jug of milk. Not really, but I wanted to make sure that any size mug that I had could be accommodated, even like a huge, like just any kind of drink. And I think we are going to stain it and polyurethane it, definitely. But let's go check this out in its live habitat. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. And with the stain and polyurethane, it'll look way better. So I did go ahead and I stained it and I polyurethaned it. And it doesn't look very good. I put way too much stain on. I left the stain on way too long and didn't wipe it off. There was wood glue all over it still. There were pieces of sawdust still all over it. There was latex paint on my drop cloth that kept getting stuck to it while I was putting... It was just a very precariously done, kind of rushed thing. And it'll serve its purpose, but what I did was I went and I did it again. I made another one. And I think you might agree with me that this one looks better. This one is only polyurethane and it brings out that wood really well. Beautiful. Now, the polyurethane's a little thick in some parts on this thing. And the feel to it's a little rough. And I think that's from some wood still being on there, from some, some dust on there. So you got to be really good about wiping that off. Wipe it off with some mineral spirits and a shop vac, and just be really sure that it's pretty clean. Also, my brush was covered in polyurethane. It's basically ruined my brush. So the brush that I was using was covered in a coat of that stuff, and it was rough doing this one. But I think it looks way better than the other one. The hole's a little smaller. The hole in both of them is not cut perfectly, but tomato, tomato. There it is. Make your own. Tell me how you did. I hope it goes well for you. I think this is a great DIY wood project, especially for beginners. Come back for more videos, and I will see you guys for another one. Have yourselves a good one.